Everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another video. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about Dead City and just the state of The Walking Dead as it has been for quite some time. And the question that's on my mind lately, and I think it's on a lot of people's minds considering what we've had to work with the spin-offs and with the rumors and just everything about The Walking Dead, is there really a future for it and everything? Will Dead City be able to pull Walking Dead out of this funk that it's been in for quite some time now? I mean, we had some reprieve there with The Ones Who Live, which was a very good series, one of the better of the spin-offs. Complain what you will about the last episode. I mean, I have my complaints as well, but overall that series just it reignited the fire for a very brief time anyways for Walking Dead. Everyone was so excited to see Rick back on the screen, seeing him and Michonne reunite, going back home and just concluding that part of the story, but still leaving so much unanswered and so much just kind of out there in the open concerning all these other spinoffs. Because my biggest complaint, and I've not been shy about it, Daryl Dixon has not met my expectations really at all. The first season I did enjoy. It had its points where it's just kind of but then second season come along and it was just very weak. The storytelling, the choices they made with the story, I just did not care for, and just it left more questions more than anything. It took plot points and things that had built up over the years, and they just completely turned their back on them, and I could not stand that about it, just for the sake of bringing Carol back in, and then having Daryl just kind of continue hopping all over the world, not really any clear point of what he's trying to accomplish, even though the whole premise of that show was supposed to be about him going out looking for Rick. And I was just like, it seems like he's just said, fuck it, I'm just going to move on and continue my life doing what I want to, going from place to place. And I've not enjoyed it at all. It's just, it seems like they're making that show, and it's become very obvious here lately, especially for the sake of making it. There's not really any point to the story, no service to the fans or anything. Whereas Dead City, I have enjoyed that a little bit more. And it seems like it's telling a fresh new story. Yes, it's kind of depending on certain things from the past regarding Negan's character and parts of his personality that he has since kind of matured past and kind of redeemed himself for. And I don't think they're going to go back on that. I don't think they're going to undo his redemption and everything, because at this point, it's kind of clear that his time with the Barazzi, with Croat, and with Dama is all an act. It's for the sake of keeping other people safe, because he believes with everything that happened with Annie and his child that he needs to stay away. He needs to keep them at a safe distance because of the danger that who he is, who he was, brings to the picture, and just everything that happened with Annie and him sending her and their child off, saying that he's going to catch up with them later, and he still has yet to do so. It makes me wonder too, is there some point in there where Croat or Dama also threatened their safety and said, if you try to go back to them, we will kill them? So I'm just wondering that, and also just with the fresh take I think we're getting with Dead City, kind of being in this new, very large metropolitan area, and seeing this new formation of groups, seeing the integration of other groups, and just seeing where Negan's state of mind is, considering everything that he's been through. Just, I think, living with some of the guilt from his old days, and then everything that happened with Herschel and Maggie in that first season. It has been kind of refreshing to see this story take on its own life, where we have some remnants of the old Walking Dead world, but we do have Maggie kind of off doing her own thing too, where she is kind of working more and more towards that forgiveness part of just letting go of the past, forgiving Negan for the things that he's done, but never forgetting, I guess. And we have all these psychological ramifications that's had on Herschel, and these news communities that have kind of popped up over the years too. And there's been no mention of Alexandria or the Commonwealth. Is Maggie even welcome there, or just what's going on there? So there's some mystery, there's some stuff that I hope they reveal along the way, and I still hope we do see some cameos where I want to see Dwight come back. I want to see him and Sherry kind of pop back up, as they mentioned about going back to the sanctuary and making it, quote, worthy of the name, and just to see how they would react to everything that's happened. Maybe stories of Negan would spread as far as he helped us win this war, he saved these people, he saved these children, and just to see how they would react to it, and maybe see other former saviors pop up, or just to kind of still very subtly connect it to those parts of the Walking Dead past, and just kind of propel any other story forward rather than holding it back with weak writing or weak story or just whatever it is that's really not doing any justice or favors for Daryl Dixon's show, because it's become painfully obvious that they're doing that for the sake of doing it, nothing more. And with Dead City, I don't know, it just seems to have a little bit more sustenance and we care about the story more. I can honestly say, I think with the Walking Dead community, the fandom, and everything, we're just very much more excited for Dead City, seeing that continuation of Maggie and Negan's story, kind of maybe diving more into the past of what's going on in Negan's head, or just with these other groups that are popping up in New York, and just the potential, I think, that it could have for bringing back other Walking Dead characters. So all in all, I'm just more excited about this part of the Walking Dead universe because of the potential it has to connect to the earlier shows and everything, maybe kind of connect to, maybe The Ones Who Live and Daryl Dixon and World Beyond in ways that we didn't think it could, with introducing or reintroducing, I guess, maybe members of the CRM that are popping back up because of these secret cells that Major General Beale had outspread around the world. And just that's how they could properly close out that story, because everything was just left so unanswered and just so dissatisfying with that part of the story. And that was people's biggest complaint about all of it. And then with Daryl Dixon, you have Laurent and Ash, off to parts unknown. Could they pop up in the Commonwealth? Could they pop up at Alexandria? Getting this information back to Rick and everybody, letting him know this is where Daryl is, this is where we last saw him, this is his possible route home. Go find him, bring him home, or just what they decide to do with that, or if they kind of let it happen organically, letting Rick and Daryl find each other again. Hopefully, if they do that, it's not, 5-6+ years down the road, because people have gotten impatient with it, very rightly so, and given up on the series. Like I mentioned, the biggest hype that we got was the return of Rick. That, I think, was the biggest reignition of the interest in the franchise and everything, because as I did those videos, I mean, thousands upon thousands of views, but as we got down to Daryl Dixon, the interest had declined just rapidly and just very aggressively, where just people don't care because the story is, for lack of a better word, kind of atrocious. And it's not that I want to hate on The Walking Dead or anything, because obviously I do love The Walking Dead universe, and I think that Dead City is the key to reigniting the interest in the fandom. And if they do it right, they can include all these other stories. But I guess I did go off track a little bit there. So I guess the main question, like I'd mentioned, can the Dead City franchise or the Dead City spinoff pull Walking Dead out of this just weird place that it's been in for so long? I think it has the potential to do it. And I think if they did it right, they included the right characters, they pivoted the story in a way that it does it favors rather than hurts it, much like Daryl Dixon, again, has done to itself, just for the sake of including other characters or just taking it in this weird direction or whatever. But I think if they just, have strong writing, strong acting, I don't think is a problem, because the actors themselves very experienced and we've enjoyed them up to this point. But with the story that they choose, it's absolutely just necessary to make sure it's done right, with the right characters and everything, and taking it in a direction that will eventually conclude everything, because they are just, especially with Scott Gimple, it's just so uncertain that it's driving people crazy, and they need to get away from that, and they need to have an endpoint in place, even if it means closing out these characters and doing what Scott Gimple wants to do, which is just keep Walking Dead going, but keep it going with new characters, new locations, make new fresh ideas, where you're not depending on legacy characters, you're not dragging them across the ocean or whatever, or across the country with these weird explanations, and it's just very lackluster in a sense, where people just don't care because it doesn't make sense. But anyways, guys, that's just my video I wanted to do today, just talking about The Walking Dead, where it lies. Can Dead City, reignite the flame of interest that, to bring back the fandom and everything? Can it be done? I think so, with the right story and the right characters, and just making sure it's not about dragging it on and just keeping people to the point where you will close it out and just do it right, not keeping the story going for the sake of keeping it going. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, if you share some of my same thoughts, please be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing, and come back for more Walking Dead content just like this. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.